I used to think hating him was the only way I could breathe. Funny, right? The one person who stole every ounce of my peace was also the one who made my pulse race like nothing else. If someone had told me back in high school that I'd one day find him standing at my front door, duffel bag in hand, rain dripping off his hair, eyes soft in a way I had never seen before, I would have laughed in their face. But there he was. And in that moment, every wall I had built around my heart trembled. It started years ago in a small town in Ohio, where football games defined your worth and the hallways of high school felt like a battlefield. Tyler Jameson, the golden boy, quarterback, untouchable, was everything I despised. He was charming without effort, the kind of guy teachers adored and girls lined up for. And me? I was Ethan Carter, the kid who hid behind sarcasm in books, the one who thought he could outsmart the pain of not belonging. Tyler and I collided like fire and gasoline. Every word between us was venom, every glance a challenge. He mocked me in front of his friends, and I lashed back with words sharp enough to cut through his perfect grin. To everyone else, it looked like teenage rivalry, just another high school cliché. But deep down, though I never admitted it, I hated him so much because he made me feel something I wasn't ready to name. Years passed. We graduated. I thought I'd buried every trace of him under the dust of the past. I moved to Chicago, became a journalist, built a life that looked stable from the outside. But life has a way of circling back to the people you least expect. That night, the night he appeared at my door, something inside me cracked. He looked nothing like the boy I remembered. His shoulders carried weight they never used to. His eyes had lost that cocky shine, replaced with something heavier. When he whispered, "Ethan," I didn't know where else to go. The years between us dissolved. All the hate, all the biting words, all the teenage pride, they vanished, leaving behind raw truth. I let him in, against my better judgment, against the screaming voice in my head telling me to shut the door. I let him in. The first few days were chaos. Living with Tyler was like inviting a storm into my apartment. He left socks on the couch, hummed in the shower, stole my coffee without asking. Every little thing he did crawled under my skin. And yet, the silence between us at night, when the city lights spilled through the blinds and he sat on the couch with his head in his hands, was worse. Because in those silences, I saw the cracks in his armor. One night, unable to hold back, I asked, "Why here, Tyler? Why me?" His answer was barely a whisper. "Because you were the only person I could think of who wouldn't pretend to care. You'd just be honest." It was the strangest compliment I had ever received. But in his voice, there was something else: desperation, maybe even fear. Over time, I learned the truth. Tyler had walked away from the football dream everyone expected him to chase. He'd worked odd jobs, lost himself in cities that didn't care if he was once a hometown star. And then his father got sick. Cancer. He came back to Ohio only to realize home wasn't really home anymore. His mother had remarried. His father was slipping away. And through all of it, he had no one. No one but me. Living with him was like reliving every wound we had inflicted on each other. Only this time the edges were softer. We argued, yes. Old habits die hard. But there were moments when the air shifted, when his hand brushed mine while reaching for the remote. When our laughter lingered too long. When his eyes found me in a crowded room like I was the only person that mattered. One evening, after a fight that left us both breathless and furious, he cornered me in the kitchen. His chest rose and fell like he'd just run a marathon. "You drive me insane," he spat. "Good. The feeling's mutual." I shot back, but then his voice dropped, softer, breaking. "And I can't stop thinking about you." The world tilted. I wanted to laugh, to scream, to deny it. Instead, I whispered, "You're not serious." But he was. God, he was. And when his lips finally met mine, it wasn't gentle. It was years of hate, confusion, and longing colliding. A kiss that burned and healed at the same time. We stumbled through the weeks that followed, lovers in denial, enemies turned something more. It wasn't perfect. We hurt each other with old scars, pushed each other away with stubborn pride. But every night, when he pulled me against his chest, when his heartbeat steadied mine, I knew I was exactly where I belonged. The hardest moment came when his father passed. Tyler crumbled in my arms, sobbing in a way I never imagined the golden boy could. I held him, whispering that it was okay to fall apart, that he didn't have to be strong. That night, I realized love wasn't about the pretty moments, it was about holding someone through their ugliest. Months later, as spring painted the city in color, Tyler stood at my door again, only this time, he wasn't leaving. "I don't want to run anymore," he said, voice trembling. "Not from my past. Not from us. If you'll have me, Ethan, I'm staying." And I, the boy who once swore I hated him to the bone, felt my heart melt in a way I couldn't stop even if I wanted to. Love, I've learned, is never neat. It's messy, raw, and terrifying. It can grow in the ashes of hate, bloom in the cracks of brokenness. Tyler and I were proof of that. Because sometimes, the person you swore you'd never forgive becomes the only home you'll ever need. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.